Right, so a bit of feedback I got last review, which very positively received, thank you so much, was that you wanted to see some stock impressions out the box. So the first few minutes of this review will be unboxing and first impressions, and then I'll go away, use the mouse for around a week, and the remainder of the review will be, I guess, if they rang true, if there's anything else that I felt or discovered that I didn't bring up in the first impressions. Unboxing experience, pretty good. This is a $40 mouse, which is pretty reasonable, I think, as budget mice go. It was purchased on AliExpress, came to the UK in about 10 days. So apologies for the ASMR, trying to keep the plastic scratching to a minimum. Okay, so what do we get in the box? It appears that we get a manual, okay, and nothing else. So mouse, manual, and nothing else, but we can't really expect more on a $40 product. So the mouse itself is incredibly lightweight. Looks like we've got some film over the bottom skates. Material itself, coating, doesn't feel too bad. Wonder if it's going to be a sweat magnet. No, it seems okay there. I guess it is very smooth in comparison to something like the Orochi. I've brought some other mice here to have a look at how it scales up against them, whether it is something that compares size-wise. I guess the closest comparable here really is the Orochi, if I hold the two up there side by side, more so than the Hearty, the Starlight, or the G305. In terms of why I went for the TeamWolf Lurker and not the Cox CM600, this actually has a Pixar 3389 as opposed to a 3360 sensor, and apparently the weight is more accurate. I think whilst the Cox claims to be 39 grams, this particular mouse, the TeamWolf, states 45 and is supposedly accurate at that. In fact, we're going to quickly test that now. Okay, under reported, so 43 grams with a cable. So this is probably around a 41 gram shell with no cable whatsoever. So that's a nice surprise to have. Really, it's the Omron 50Ms. I'd prefer them personally to the Huano blue shell white dots that come with the Cox CM600. And the sensor, whilst I don't think to someone of my skill, a 3360 versus a 3390 is going to be something that's noticeable. If I'm getting a mouse for a similar price with a better sensor, then that obviously seems like the option I'm going to take. In terms of click feel, they're not bad actually. They're quite well tensioned. I don't have any post or very little post travel, in fact, actually. No pre-travel. Scroll wheel feels very defined. You know, DPI button is terrible, but I mean, you click it a few times and never again. Side buttons look like they're going to be pretty dismal to use, and in fact, they absolutely are. They appear, from looking inside the shell, to be using the elevated tactile micro dots, which is something that we've also seen in the Cooler Master MM710 range, as well as the Deluxe M800, and I haven't liked the implementation in any of those mice. They're usable, but don't really sound the best. I'll see if I can give you a quick sound test. Very plasticky feeling, very mushy. Yeah, they wouldn't be a mouse that I purchased for the side buttons. Overall though, first impressions are pretty good. I don't think I've got any no rattle, no flex, no build quality issues there. And cable is surprisingly good for a stock cable, considering how light this mouse is. I think we've got a lot of flex in it. I haven't obviously tried it out, so I don't know how it'll impact me in game, but I certainly don't foresee any issues. Can't speak to skate quality because they've obviously got the seals over them as described, but yeah, excited actually. I wasn't really looking forward to using this mouse after, you know, premium mice like the Starlight and certainly the HSK, which for me feels better, but it's significantly smaller than I thought it would be. If I sort of compare it here to the G305, which kind of dwarfs it, and even the Orochi, it's kind of pound for pound almost identical to the Orochi in size, but just significantly lighter with not a bad feeling. So I'll see you guys in about a week to get the rest of it and see if my first impressions hold true, but very, very excited to use the mouse.